and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day, and we thank you for this community that we live in. We come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we're gathered together to conduct city business. Guide and direct us in everything that we say and that we do, and we thank you for all that you do for us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, first item up, roll call. I am present. Alderwoman Dent.
I can't understand you.
You can't understand me? You're sitting.
Too close to the mic, I think.
I have to, because if I speak up, you won't be able to even understand my voice. You did that intentionally, I think, right? Alderman Bolerjack.
Here.
Alderman Whalen.
Here.
Alderwoman Cisco is absent. City Administrator Burbridge.
I know where she is. She's talking to residents.
City Clerk Holler.
Present.
City Attorney Weber.
President.
Public Works Director Payne. He's here. He'll be right back. Chief of Police Chase. Finance Director Stacy Houston. And the only other city staff we've got here is Melissa Boyce from Park, right? I guess Brent left?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next item up is the approval of tonight's agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
I second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack.
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is public comment. The only one we have tonight is Miss Lisa Fridge. Come on in, man.
Is this turned on?
Oh, sorry, you got to turn on the mic on.
Underneath?
It should be on the top here.
It's under.
Kind of in the middle there. Yeah, right there.
Got it?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, I have a question tonight. I'm gonna address this to Alderwoman Dent, since you are the chair of utilities. And my question somewhat has to do with utilities. A notice for opt-out form was developed by Concerned Citizens for Salem for this leak protection program. The reason it was done was to have a written form on record. I know that you're supposed to call, did that, took care of it. But with the things that have happened with the city before and certain issues with billing, I wanted something on record. Okay, so we created this form, which some of you have. And when we took it to the city office today, the front desk people said they could not accept it. Can you tell me why that would be?
I have no idea, other than the fact that it might have been because it was not on the ServLink official stationery or official paper that they use. I have no idea.
Can you find that answer for me? Because I did not have a choice to opt into this. I gave no one my permission to put me in anything, to give away my personal information, which they did. When I called, I talked to ServPro or ServLine, whatever it is, HomeServe, a couple times. They've got all my information. I didn't choose this. So why is the onus put on me? And I want record in the office, at the city, the ones who opted me into this, that I want out. I made my phone call. I did my due diligence. I want to know why they're telling them, don't take these. It's wrong. They're there as a public service to us. They're supposed to serve their constituents, their utility customers, whatever you want to call it. Don't tell me you can't take a document from me, especially when you opted me into something I didn't ask for. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
City Administrator, can you address that question as to why that happened?
I do not know, I was not aware that was said.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Keep my streak going here with my voice. Next item up we have is bids. Primary bid approval for the wire, electric wire. Huh? We don't have, I don't think that we have any.
Are you moving to the next bid, Mayor?
Yes. Next item. Yeah, there's no, that's from the last meeting.
I can't hear you.
We don't have any,
Wire bid approval, okay,
yeah, we don't have no board appointments for tonight.
okay. All right, so, apologies, do you wanna address this, the wire bid? Or not?
Good evening, board members, mayor. Josh Kochadoff is out of town on vacation, so basically put in the staff summary sheet asking so he could put out the bid and get his wire, underground wire. Comes in spools of 2,500 feet. They're in need of one spool to have in stock in case they need it. So what's he got? The cost has been around $6 a foot, but they only guarantee that price for 1 to 3 days. So this is like the transformers and the poles. He's just trying to make a not to exceed $15,000 purchase. So it would come out of line item 501, 46, 100, which currently has $37,000, leaving $22,000 in that line item. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to have this stuff in stock. After there's some contract work done here for Brightspeed, if I remember, and the contractors dug into underground electric line, and we did not have it in stock, so the guys had to go to another provider. I think it was Houston, if I'm not mistaken, to get underground cable for them, or underground wire.
And we had the underground wire that burn up out on the industrial park road there, so
Okay.
it's just good to have it in stock. So. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. This time, do I have a motion to accept staff's recommendation?
I'll make a motion to accept recommendation.
I second the motion.
If there's any further discussion, I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Next item up is the HVAC for the animal pound.
Did you send me an email back from that by chance? Okay, well, so it's right there, okay. Alright, so we resubmitted the bids because there was questions about warranty information and, service after the sales. 5G services, I don't know if you guys have got all this, it was the lowest, but the product warranty offered less comprehensive coverage than, Salem Heating and Cooling. Salem Heating and Cooling came in with the best price, with the best warranty, and so they were cheaper than Hartley's. And then if you would have reviewed the bid from 5G's bid that they submitted, it was just like written in pen what their warranty and coverage information was. So, 10-year warranty on parts, that means it covers it pretty much bumper to bumper. Anything goes wrong with any part of the apparatus in 10 years, it's free replacement on the parts, 2 years free on the labor. And so, and their bid didn't change any from what it was the first time.
But we do have the warranty in writing.
You have the warranty information.
And that was the only problem last time, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, 5G had, which they were outside of bid specs, realistically, their bid should have been rejected, but we tried to present 3 bids. We can't make people get them right, though.
Right.
We lay out the parameters, what we're asking for to start with, and, what you get as a finished product is not exactly, isn't always what you're asking for, so.
Yeah, appreciate you getting that additional information on
Yep.
the bids and stuff.
No problem. Any other questions?
I think everybody's good. Thank you
Okay.
for presenting, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
At this time, do I have a motion to accept staff's recommendation for the HVAC from Salem Heating and Cooling?
I would move to approve the bid from Salem Heating and Cooling for $7,850.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item up is the Salem Municipal Pool Liner bid. Ms. Melissa, you're up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We actually opened bids and there was one bid packet submitted. So the information you have is from Westport Pools. And it actually was not a lot lower, a little bit lower than their original suggested price to us. So we are asking that you approve the bid for $986 for the removal and replacement of the PVC membrane liner. We're projecting that other areas of the city have sustained some damage. So this is going to fall under the insurance, but there's a $50,000 deductible, but that might not all fall on Parks and Rec at this point.
If I may add to that, Mayor, so we did have, insurance adjusters come, they were here last week, is that correct, Steve?
Yes.
And they went through all city buildings, playgrounds at the park, all city facilities. And so, yeah, we don't have their detailed report back yet, but we had 2 guys here for 3 days going through all of our facilities. So, and they did find other damage, we just don't have the details of that yet.
Melissa, is there any restrictions as far as the liner and installing it? Is it better for it to be done summer, fall, or
They haven't specified.
nothing?
Nope. I think really it's just when they're available,
Right.
Is-
Well,
and that's like
and they're
not,
still available for July?
I don't know. They won't really tell us until we have a signed contract.
Okay.
And it depends on if
All right, I
the
understand.
businesses they're working with now are ready for them or not.
So if we approve this tonight, pool won't be open tomorrow.
Unfortunately, no. Once they start, it'll take 4 weeks at minimum.
Right, I got you.
And we still have a $50,000 deductible for that, for our insurance.
That's what
Yeah.
insurance is stating, but if there's other damage within the city, then it wouldn't just all fall on Parks and Rec.
Okay.
And I know we're still in the draft phase of the proposed budget for the next fiscal year, and we had tentatively planned for expensive $200,000 just to have a guesstimate of the amount.
Yes,
Looks
and it's
like
all
we're
written into
having-
my budget currently,
We're
yeah.
gonna have a solid number here, and I'm assuming this is gonna be coming out of the next fiscal year.
Right, and we actually have more damage than just the pool liner that we need to address.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Anybody don't have any further questions? All right, thank you, Melissa.
Thanks.
This time, do I have a motion to accept the bid?
Make a motion, we accept the bid for the Salem Municipal Pool Liner.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And need to back up because we do actually have, one I skipped, we do have a board appointment tonight. It's for the airport board, since we have that new open position. And it's for Chris Holliday to serve on the airport committee. At this time, do I have a motion to accept my recommendation for Chris Holliday to serve on the airport board?
I move to approve the mayor's appointment of Chris Holliday to the airport board.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
All right, let's get back on track here. Next item up is the TAP downtown project.
So this is something I should have done in our last meeting. This is something MoDOT is doing their due diligence on to make sure that the bid submitted is going to meet the criteria of the TAP grant, and especially with federal funding involved, that make sure everything's all covered. So instead of having this show up at each of our next few meetings, I would move to postpone the award of a bid for this project to a future meeting after MoDOT's review.
You want to table it?
Postpone.
Postpone?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a second on postponing this?
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion? I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item up is new miscellaneous business. We have resolution number 13-2024.
Okay, so this resolution is in support of the CDBG grant. We had a public hearing on this a couple of meetings ago. This is a grant, so Community Development Block Grant, requesting $750,000 in funding for the sewer treatment plant upgrades. So this is just a resolution authorizing that we move forward with that application.
Here, I'll open it up if there's any discussion. Okay. All right. Do I have a motion for resolution number 13-2024?
Make a motion that we approve resolution number 13-2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next item up is resolution number,
We need to have our clerk read the resolution. Sorry.
Go ahead. Tammy, you're falling behind back there. I'm too loud at the mic. You're falling behind. We're just a mess. It's okay.
I apologize. Resolution 13-2024, a resolution of the City of Salem, Missouri stating intent to seek funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program and authorizing the mayor to pursue activities in an attempt to secure funding.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna redo this anyways. Do I have a motion to accept it now after it's been read? For resolution number 13-2024. I'm just redoing the vote. Or,
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2024.
is on mine.
And I'll second.
All right. Is there any past or present discussion? All right, I'll call for the vote again. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is resolution 14-2024. This time we'll wait on you, Tina. Okay.
Resolution number 14-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign acknowledgement of the renewal for health insurance from United Healthcare for employees of the city of Salem, Missouri, as required by the Affordable Care Act. So on this, last year, we offered one health insurance. The premiums were so good that the city pays $550 per employee per month for their insurance. When United Healthcare came back, they had a very good premiums for employees, so employees were out zero out of their paychecks for their health insurance. This year, when it came back, those numbers were a little higher, so we sat down with supervisors. We went over two plans. There's a choice plan and a core plan. They're the same insurance that employees have now. The core plan, the only difference between them is the core plan will not allow employees to see some hospitals, doctors in St. Louis, Barnes, Children's, those are not in the core plan. The core plan is going to be about a little under $3 per week per employee out of their paychecks. If they choose to upgrade to the choice plan, it was a little higher. I forget the numbers. $14.28 per employee, which is what it was the previous year before they didn't have to pay. Most of our employees at that time had that plan, and they were fine with paying the $15. So, do you have any questions? I also have Joe Snodgrass on my phone. We couldn't get her connected via Zoom, so if anyone has any questions that I can't answer.
I think last time when they negotiated with us, they told us that it would increase in the following year, which is, this is that year.
We kind of figured that would happen, but it's still, the premiums are still very
Still
good,
lower.
and out-of-pocket employees, I mean, it's still a very good premium.
What's the cost difference between this proposed versus what we're currently doing now?
For the city, it's the same.
Same cost?
Yes.
Okay. It's just gonna be an increase for the employees?
Yeah, the employees will be the, yeah.
Okay, I follow.
And that's the United Healthcare, right? All right. This time, do I have a motion for resolution number 14-2024?
I move to approve resolution number 14-2024.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
There's no further discussion. I'll call for the vote. Alderman Bullard,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Next up is resolution 15-2024.
Resolution number 15-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement between the city of Salem, Missouri and Westport Pools for labor and materials to remove and replace the PVC membrane system for the city of Salem city swimming pool. So this just is the contract, you signing the contract.
Okay. This time, do I have a motion for resolution 15-2024?
Make a motion we approve resolution number 15, 2024.
I second the motion.
There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Bullard.
Yes.
Next item up is the employee holiday trade.
Okay, so this item came up, the board approves the official holidays that are recognized for employee pay through our employee manual. And so looking at the calendar this year, July 4th is on a Thursday. And so that means the office would need to be open then on July 5th on that Friday. And we don't anticipate there will be a lot of foot traffic in through the office on that day. There could be, but the idea came up that, you know, staff would prefer to trade one of the other pre-existing holidays for that day so that they have that entire weekend and don't need to come in on a Friday after the July 4th holiday. So it's to the board, since like I said, you guys approve those holidays through the employee manual. Any changes you would need to approve. And so we polled city staff to see what their preference would be on holidays. They were given 3 options. They were given Juneteenth, but it would have to be next year's Juneteenth because it needs to be in the same budget year. Columbus Day, and then Veterans Day was thrown out. And so Columbus Day was the largest vote getter to trade holidays. So this means that if granted, the city offices would be closed and staff would be paid on July 5th, but we would be working on Columbus Day. Okay.
All right, at this time, do I have a motion to accept the employee holiday trade for July 5th? And replace it with Columbus, or take it, for Columbus Day.
I move to approve trading July 5th for Columbus Day, October 14th, 2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
There's no discussion. I will call for the vote. Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
and Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
All right. Next item up is the Leak Protection Program policy.
Okay, the policy before you has been approved by the utility committee, but in the interesting events of January, where we had every meeting that month was rescheduled due to weather, it was an oversight that this policy had not gone before you here on the board. So this is the formal presentation of the leak protection plan policy. This goes with the serve line program. And so I stand for any questions. It's a pretty straightforward policy, but I stand for any questions the board may have.
So, I'm going to use this for an example because I had some people reach out to me. A lot of angry elderly folks. They had some confusion of what some of the policies stated. So if I'm a homeowner and I have a water line that breaks on my property, okay, I bought the house, water lines come with it, and the water's leaking. And I noticed the leak, and then I call the city, ask them to shut the water off. And they shut the water off. I get the water leak fixed, I have to pay for it. And then I get a bill. I got this outrageous bill. Now, does the city warrant any type of bill forgiveness for me having a leak on my side of the line?
So currently we don't do bill forgiveness. What we will do is when you bring in proof that you fixed the leak, such as an invoice from a plumber, or it could even be receipts for the parts where you fixed it yourself. When you bring that in, we will then adjust out the sewer charges back down to your average sewer charges, but we don't adjust out the water leak.
Okay.
Or the water bill, forgive me.
The only other complaint that I got that I'll address that we're probably all aware of, a lot of people were angry because back, I think it was December of last year, utility committee met. They went over the information of the leak protection program. There was some discrepancies about the payment, so they revisited it again. I think it was either January or February. The board voted to approve it in March. A lot of part of this program was now that people are having city shows a program that, it confuses a lot of elderly people, because now that they have to opt out of it, or they have to call, you know, a number to opt out of something that we chose to get for them. I would just probably ask a board or future boards that when we add programs in the near future, that we try to choose a program that we could probably openly maybe even have a public hearing, give the public a chance to address this. Something that you're not required to opt out of, because that's where a lot of confusion comes from. I mean, to me, it's a great program that I can afford it. I mean, I work, a lot of people don't, a lot of people are on fixed incomes. I think last time that John Amberger did a calculation, I think 80% of our community was living in poverty. Maybe that number has changed due to the decline in citizens. You know, maybe the way that the economy adjusts, but I would ask that maybe we revisit it, try a better approach, maybe a little bit better advertising, you know, give people a chance to reach us and speak to us. We have put in meetings, and our meetings are posted online. Even if we could do like a billing insert, let them know that that the board is approved or something that we want to make you aware of, and give you a chance to either come to an alderman meeting to speak at public comment even, especially for a lot of our elderly people. Other than that, that's the only thing that I have to add tonight for that.
Well, as a member of the utility committee when this was voted on, and as its chairman now, I've talked with other members of the utility committee, and we just didn't check into what this involved. I mean, that's just putting it out there. We did not bother to check into any of the information that we were given, and we found out a lot of things later. And it's something that we should have done. It's something that won't happen again. But I just don't think this is something that we need to do right now. There's a lot of controversy about it that we probably need to look into further.
This is something that you want the utility community to revisit on for more discussion on?
What?
Is this something you want the utility committee to revisit?
I think the utility committee probably will revisit this.
So,
We do have a contract already with this company.
that's what I was trying to bring up, that the board already approved it in March. And tonight's on the agenda is the policy, just the policy itself. Right, Paul? Right, so. Okay.
Am I mistaken? Somebody just said the board never voted on it.
It's in our March meetings. It's online. I don't know what the exact date was. But you can look. It's on the first, I think, page 3.
May I speak? Mayor? May I speak?
Yeah. Would you guys entertain turning?
Yeah.
This time?
As you all know, I'm part of the utility committee. And we made, like Catherine said, we made the mistake and approved something without doing much research. And I was one of the people that did do some research after the fact, unfortunately, and found out some very discouraging news about this company. They do not have a good rating amongst customer service. And in fact, they have a lot of lawsuits against them. And as she is saying, we do have a contract, unfortunately. I, as a utility committee member, will be opting out of this program. And I know there's going to be a lot of people opting out of this program. So I'm not sure how successful this program is gonna be for the city of Salem.
So just for record, for everybody that's here in attendance tonight, on our online, on our website, where all of our agendas are listed, March 12th, 2024. And on my phone, it's, I think, page 3. Page 4 on my phone. Yeah, page 3. And I'll read from our own Alderman meeting. Alderman Williams moved to approve to the utility committee's recommendation the non-mandatory coverage of $2,500 per occurrence for water bills for the lead service line protection, seconded by Alderman Bolerjack. The vote was unanimous. Alderman Williams, Alderman Bolerjack, and Alderman Will. There were no nays as the motion carried. So at this time, tonight, do I have a motion for the leak protection program policy?
I would move to table this policy for our next meeting. I want to review our contract.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Will.
No.
Next item up is the Intel meters from ZB Water Communication Modules. Stacy, if you'd like to speak to this.
So these modules are the antennas that attach to our water meters. It allows the water meters to communicate with our system. We currently have several modules that are not working. So we need to place an order to have several to come in and then have some extra on stock on hand. I did reach out to NextGrid. We do have a 10-year prorated warranty on our current ones that we purchased. I am still waiting on them to find out what steps we need to take as far as getting reimbursement or what needs to happen with those. But at this point, we need to place an order for 154, which would be around little over $20,000. And we are proposing to pay for this out of our CLP funds that we have existing.
Okay.
Did we approve similar quote in the past on these modules?
We did, but it was like over a year ago and they were never ordered.
Do we have a reason for that, or just?
Previous staff's no longer here, I don't know.
Sounds like it's a need that we, need these modules to fix, at least some of these water meters, communications. I would move to approve the purchase of 154 water meter modules for NextGrid.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
This time I'll call for the vote. Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderman Will,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Next up is reports to city officials, boards, and committees. Ms. Burbridge, do you have anything tonight?
So, Alderman Bolerjack had asked if I would give a quick report, on the city hall, the building, the insurance. So at this time, and I may have, Candy assist me on this, but at this time, the insurance adjuster has sent us some questions. We have responded to their first round of questions, and then they have just recently sent back another list of questions for us. So we provided some documentation with that first round of questions, And we have simply not had a chance this week to sit down and discuss this next round of questions. So that's what we have as far as an update at this time.
Do you know what our deductible amount is with the insurance?
I don't, I've never heard a number.
I haven't either. It's normally 5,000, but don't quote me on that, cause I could be wrong, cause sometimes they change the deductibles on me, depending on the type of damage.
Can we get that information for our next meeting?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Next up is my report, tonight, let's see. The Dane County Commons is hosting a summer carnival, June 13th, 14th, and 15th. Thursday, the 13th, 6 to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday, the 14th and 15th, from 5 to 10. There's no gate fees, and exciting rides, free parking, armbands are $20 or 2 for 30 with a buddy. Come out, have some fun for the whole family. Also, Dane County Toy Drive is now accepting and meeting vendors for their Christmas in July event on July 27th at the Commons. You can call 573-247-2216 for more information and to sign up. And I would also encourage everybody for the city of Salem to receive their utility bill via email, which I think is pretty cool. You can email at utilities2@salemmode.com with email my utility bill in the subject line, or give your email address to one of the clerks next time that you're in office, and watch your inbox and your bill around for the first of each month. If you don't see your bill by the end of the day or the first, be sure that you check your junk folder before calling the office. The message will come from do not reply at salemmode.com. The only thing last that I have, I had a couple little handicap ladies reach out to me because we have our upcoming 4th of July parade. Was looking for anybody that's up front with like a business or even in front of their house if they would allow somebody for handicap parking, because one lady, she does not have no legs, and they just want to come out and see the parade, and they asked me if I would say something tonight. Other than that, that's all that I have. Next up is Mr. Payne. See what's going on in the Board of Public Works.
Thank you, board members, Mayor, appreciate the opportunity. I'll start with wastewater treatment plants. We've had new hire, Matt Hutzel. It's working out really great, very energetic, jumping in, excited to be a part of the Salem team. Daily testing continues, as well as runs to Springfield with different testing elements. Water this week was pretty busy. We have a new hire there as well. Terry Verme hired on. Real energetic fellow jumped in, another one that's happy to be a part of the team. Definitely getting in and learning a lot. So we had mapped out our next 2 fire hydrant replacements, but unfortunately we had 4 water service line repairs to do this week that took precedence. As we were out there doing training, working on that, we were also doing training on the back truck with three of us, our newest hires. And that it occurred to me that if you drive by and we have a street blocked off for the general public and you see 7 people out there, and maybe one person's in the hole, and there's a 6th standing there watching, one of those would be myself. Supervisory, I don't have to be there to supervise, but I like to be there for the team and learn as they're learning. The water superintendent is out there coaching and mentoring. He knows a lot about the lines over his 27 years of service. You have 3 people, 3 laborers that are learning the process of shutting down a water main or choking it down to the point where they can do a service line repair. And then 2 heavy equipment operators. That's where we get these numbers of folks. So I would hope that the public would understand that there's a lot of coaching, mentoring, and training to make sure that the Salem team is better as we progress into the coming years. We did meter repair replacements that were conducted this past week, locates, cleaned out curb, gutter, and culvert cleanouts with the back truck. The vac truck, once again, such a great tool. I went down to a DNR training, and the DNR instructor asked the crowd, you know, how many of you have a vac truck? And I was the only one, and he's like, they're just invaluable. So it was nice to hear that and know that we're moving in the right direction. Electric department last week replaced street lamps around the library on 4th Street. Per the mayor had got a complaint that some of the lights were out, so we're just doing LEDs through that section. Had a complaint of a street lamp off of 3rd Street and children that play late at night, dark, so we went ahead and knocked that one out. Fixed and troubleshot AMI systems on poles because we were worried there was some possible hail damage with those. We also wanted to report to the insurance adjusters. Side note, those two gentlemen that came down to look at things, the insurance adjusters were a third party. They're not, I believe, hired out by our insurance company. And real straight shooters, they wanted to look at everything. And they did find damage. They're gonna give us an extensive report. They were even bucket trucked up to the top of this building to look at it up close. So I believe they were really giving us the good ones over it. 10 locates done for electric. Construction crew prepped and poured an approach apron, a large one, poured 50 feet of curb, came over to the office building and admin and planned out an office build, cubicle build, repaired a sign at the community center, assisted insurance adjusters, like I said, with the city hall roof look. All crews worked lawn maintenance as usual with all the rain, and as I can see in the forecast coming, that's going to slow down, it looks like. So hopefully we'll make gains on the cemetery because it's two-man crew and it's a big job out there. So does anybody have any questions?
No, just thank you for all the work, City.
I
We appreciate it, you and all the guys working out there.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're probably gonna hear about it tomorrow.
Okay.
That, you know, there's always questions about meters, always questions about meters, and whether they're working correctly or not. Would it be possible for us to have a meeting with Neptune and Next Grid and the aldermen? And you laugh, Sally.
No, I'm only
But-
laughing because I've been trying to get them here physically.
This has been an ongoing battle to try to
So,
pull into
what
the
is the
table.
problem? They don't wanna come here?
Next Grid is less than responsive. Neptune, I've tried to schedule that gentleman to come down and talk to us, and he's booked up, so we have to get him out further than a month in advance. But we have difficulties with Next Grid, and we were trying to put them all at the table for us to talk to, and it's a struggle. This staff did not pick Next Grid, and we're just stuck with them. So we're trying, we're making efforts, man. And it's just, we would like to get them. And now that we know that you'd like to talk to them, we would like to do that too, but it's, three of us emailed them in one day, and that's how we finally got a response on troubleshooting equipment. I mean, it's just, we're researching right now to try to find out who the president of Next Grid is, and we're just gonna go right to the top and be like, what is the poor service here? We pay for an advanced package to help us, and it's like beating your head against the wall.
I understand your frustration, I really do, but I think that our citizens are frustrated too, and that they deserve some kind of answer from these people.
Well, we're trying. I mean, I can't give you what I don't have.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Can you keep trying?
I will. I'll keep pressing. That's what you hired me for, and I'm giving it my best. So,
All right, you got a license to stock, Steve.
what's that?
You got a license to stock.
Any other questions?
I have a comment. What was it? A month and a half ago, we talked about all the parties and how you were getting the finger pointing. And we discussed trying to get all of them at the table at the same time.
Yes.
And I think if you don't do that, you're gonna get more finger pointing.
Well, and we have,
Yes, ma'am.
and so my apologies, Alderman, when I was laughing earlier, it was not laughing at your comment. It's that I have been actively trying to get these entities to the table since we've hired Steve. It's because I wanted to do it after Steve coming on board, being our new public works director, after Shannon as our new billing clerk, and getting all of our team there as well as these other players that we're paying to be our team members, it has been a very frustrating process. And it's, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like Steve said, myself, Steve, Stacy, we're emailing constantly.
We have a contract with them.
We do. Unfortunately, we've not been able to find that contract at this point.
Can we request it from them?
We absolutely can.
Maybe we need to make a legal action. I mean, I don't know, I see your frustration.
And I can give you a further example of what we're dealing with. NextGrid, if you go to their webpage, had a countdown timer for their new webpage launch. That was about 3 weeks ago that it counted down to 0 and then just stopped. I can't even go to their webpage. And so what I think we've attached our wagon to is a less than professional company, so.
I think that something probably really needs to be done, some kind of action as soon as possible to take care of the problem.
Agreed, and it's, something we have to look at the next steps with the lawyer and discuss.
Yeah.
I think so, Steve.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody have anything else to see? He's got one more.
Where's their office located?
Virginia.
Road trip.
The crowd behind me stated Virginia. They were, when you look at the NextGrid paperwork and the documentation I do have, they were Virginia-based out there, Tennessee. They don't really have a foothold in Missouri when we signed on with them back. So I don't know how they got picked in the first place. There was a lot of research done on different vendors, and then from what I understand, out of nowhere, this one got picked. And so here we are years later, and what Sally's stated is, and this is the smart choice, we have to milk this cow and make it work because we spent money on it. But we have to discuss when the breaking point is of, okay, this is enough, and we're trying.
Yeah, because a different type of software is, what, millions of dollars?
We spend,
The cost.
the city's spending, so.
And so one of those COPs was specifically for the system, and so we've spent over $1 million on the system.
I believe that's back in 2018, the funding was approved.
I believe.
Installation in 2019 or something.
Yes, yeah, they started installation, I do remember that, they started installation late fall of 2019. So, and then through 2020, with the onset of COVID going on, that was all done. So that's, again, at that time though, I was not involved in any of this kind of stuff.
All right.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. You can go, sir.
Okay, thank
All right, we'll let you go.
Please address the board about something critical to what you were just talking about. This is critical. Thank you, I appreciate it, because this stuff can never be talked about in real time. We have been trying to get a hold of this NextGrid to look at an Eco1 report, to get information. We saw the same thing Mr. Payne found. Their website is non-existent. And when you call them, they are so scared and so flaky. I'm not the only one who's tried to talk to them, okay? But you all just voted on something that was based on NextGrid's confirmation. You just voted for hardware that they're saying is going to work. Just a few minutes ago.
Right.
Why? Why didn't anybody ask questions? Are you
What I
trusting a company?
voted for, and what I understood was, we have to have those to maintain what poor quality system we have going.
No, sir. No, sir. I have talked to a previous employee who ran this stuff. You have the wrong equipment and you keep buying inferior equipment over and over. You're wasting our money and things aren't working. And you should not be trusting NextGrid. Do some due diligence, please. He can tell you a lot about it.
Okay, Steve.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
distributors of the Neptune meters many times throughout this. And I know for a fact that the $20,000 that you're getting ready to spend with this Next Grid outfit is what it would take to get the proper equipment for these meters to work over here. Now, I understand and know that there are labor costs, there are subcontractor costs that will be associated with that. The exact amount that would take, I can't tell you that, but I do know that $20,000 will get the right equipment here on site. And we won't have to worry about this Next Grid anymore. That is the biggest sham operation I have ever seen to be in the position they're in. Those people have not made a dime after their initial startup money. They made $3.5 million, and that's all that they have reported since then. The company is not worth spending any more time, any more money on, because the people at Schulte and at the Neptune people told me that their system will never work with what Next Grid has given us.
Steve, you have names of the contacts you talked to and the people that you referenced?
I do.
Would you share them?
I certainly will. In fact, I've tried to get them down here, and they said that they
Well, I'm
were
a little confused on you're making contact. Are you representing yourself, or are you representing the city of Salem?
No, I'm representing myself and the citizens of Salem.
Well, you can do that, I understand that, but I don't understand when I'm trying to follow you here. You've talked to a third party other than one of the three entities that we're using now, correct? Neptune. Is that someone that we don't do business with?
Neptune is the brand of meters that.
Is the brand, the
water
meter
meters.
company, okay. All right. Go slow here with me, so I gotta understand. Okay, so that's the meter company. Is that the meter company for the water meters or the electric?
The water meters.
Water meters, okay, that makes sense, Neptune.
These are Mach 10 meters.
And they're telling you that what we have as an infrastructure to capture the data from the meters to get it to encode will not work.
Will never work.
Have you had any conversations with Neptune?
I have not.
Okay, all right.
Right, I have not, I mean, other staff have, but I have not.
Well, if we can get that contact person's name, I'd like to ask Sally or someone from the city of Mensteed to get hold of them. And that's why we're trying to get all these parties in front of each other, because they'll point the finger at the other entity. And the reason when I voted, I don't know how, if we don't have these antennas, how do we bill people until we get this thing fixed? That was my intent of the vote, is a Band-Aid. But, I mean, the utilities billing situation, I promise you, is everybody in the city's administration's priority to get their hands around it, but it's like prior administrations, poor follow through from one administration to the next, and it's like hide and seek to find out. So I didn't know you had those contacts, but I think it's gonna take a group effort.
Well, I have
If you're making contact with them, we need that contact information to try to get someone that.
I'll be happy to work with you on that. I'll be very happy to work with you.
Well, you need someone smarter than me.
All of you. All together.
Because it's above my head.
One of the representatives that I spoke with from Schulte is a field overseer. And he told me that he would try, this has just been a week or so ago now, that he would try and set up a meeting with the Neptune representative. He said, I know I can get him down here. But he said, I don't think he'll come.
Who's he again? Help me out here.
I'll give you all these names, later on.
Let's get those names and then let's
Now,
talk.
let me follow through here.
Okay, I will. I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
Because he doesn't believe that the Neptune people will come down here unless somebody from NextGrid comes down here. And you guys can't even get a hold of them. I have called and talked to those people several times at NextGrid, and it's pouring water up a rope. Don't even need to go there. But what I'm saying is, I doubt that NextGrid is gonna come down here. So if you decide to fire those people and quit scrambling around here trying to get something that they will not and probably cannot produce, then we can get the Neptune people down here to figure out exactly what has to be done here. But they did give me that figure of $20,000. They had already, well, because they were gonna sell that entire system when this all began to happen. And that is the system that they've got is what is supposed to be used with these meters. And it will work seamlessly. Adding this NextGrid trash into this thing is what's killing us.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to, if we can sit and talk about this, I have a lot of information from these people. And I'll be happy to share and
Now,
help.
if we get the contact information, and then I'd like to ask us to make an effort to see if we can contact these people that have been talking to him and see if it'll help.
Staff has been in contact with Schulte Supply, and we have tried to get them as well as Neptune here.
Yes, I know.
And that's what I just found out and said also, is that they will come down here for sure, but they want the NextGrid people here. I can only guess why. It makes sense to me though, I think. But you can't get them. It's not gonna happen, so something else has to happen. They have to be burned off of this, as far as I can say.
Okay, thank you for coming up and talking to us.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
The state can lead for a consultant that's hired back in 2019 to help coordinate this project, on any work that is involved as well, bring them to the table.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone that we paid a fee to help us put this circus in, I think they need to come to the show.
I don't know the name, but I'm going to see.
BHMG.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
I just gave you a document about that, Catherine, Dent.
We can meet after we've adjourned, so you can collect some of that information, speak with Steve. Okay? All right, moving right along. Stacy? You don't have anything? No report at all?
No report.
Tired of talking hours from last night. Yeah. Next up is Alderman report, Alderman Borjak.
The only thing I have is, let my neighbor had a report week last week, and, this is the biggest year, they had 24 projects, over 100 volunteers that helped, so it's different churches coming together, neighbors helping neighbors with, deck projects, roofs, and yard work, and it's really amazing to see everyone come together and help one another. So I just want to express my gratitude to everyone involved in the my neighbor. There'll be more information shared next year. Usually it's the first full week of June, so there's an opportunity to go to the website at ltn.com and homeowners that want to be considered to have work done at their place can apply there, and also volunteers as a resident helping can register online as well. And usually the early 2025 of when that information is open to the public to start applying for.
Alderman Will, do you have anything to report?
I'd just like to go off of Sean there. I think the Love Thy Neighbor, what impressed me so much is the volume and the effort that they did with the spirit of cooperation. And that just gave me a confirmation that there's nothing in the city of Salem that we can't correct, fix, or improve if we can first have a spirit of cooperation and respect amongst all parties. That's it.
Hold on to that. We're finally ready to. Go ahead. I do not sound like that unless you want me to speak up.
Because I'm making fun of him because he has no voice. I'd just like to say that for many, many years, there was a gentleman that lived in the West Ward of our community, and who was once an integral part of the city of Salem, and that was J.J. Toon. And I sent an email when Mr. Toon passed away. I sent an email to the alderman and the city administrator asking what was going to be done for Mr. Toon, because there's always something done for a past mayor that passes on. And I didn't get a response. And so I asked the mayor, and the mayor told me that he thought that flowers had been sent, but he wasn't sure. And he said he had asked for a proclamation to be made, and he figured that wasn't done because the person that did that was having physical therapy. And my answer to that was, is that the only person that can do anything? So, can you tell me what was done for Mr. Toon?
I cannot. My apologies.
And this putting it is as nice as I can put it, but is there any way that somebody can be in charge of other jobs if that person isn't there? Okay, I'd appreciate that. I think Mr. Toon's family probably is owed an apology, because in the past it's always been nicely done and there was nothing this time. And that's all I have to say.
Yes.
May I address that? Alderwoman, I apologize. I will take full responsibility for that. As you all are aware, I was out for medical leave for an aortic valve replacement. So I do have therapy 3 times a week that I have to do. On top of everything else, I completely I'll take full responsibility, and I will apologize to the family.
But somebody else needs to be able to do something if you're not there. I mean, if a proclamation needs to be done, then somebody else needs to do it so that someone from the city can sign that.
I do have Wanda. She has taken my place while I was out for surgery, but she is currently only there 1 day a week for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, and that the proclamations do fall in my hands, and I do apologize for that.
Thank you, and get better. Yeah. That's all that we can help for. Anything else? All right. This time I'll need a motion to go into closed session. You got you listed on here.
But can I say something anyway?
You can. Go ahead. Melissa, come on up.
No, I just want to thank you guys for passing the no smoking policy, and let you know that we do have the signs up now. They're in the park and they're now brown. I've already addressed a few other people that are smoking in the parks, and I try to be really friendly about it. It's not even just smoke that we're having to deal with, it's the dab pins, and if you're aware of what dab pins are, that it's marijuana that they're being in the park. So, I'm gonna start reaching out to Chief when we get that type of odor, because it's really hard to detect who it's coming from if you're vaping. But those signs are up, and I just want to thank you for passing that policy. So it's a step in the right direction.
I was at the games last week, and I was looking around for the signs.
They weren't up yet.
I saw 2 at the softball field, back on each side of the backstop.
Were they the children's lungs that play? Those aren't the signs. They came. We didn't order them. We had a second party, so,
No.
the health department ordered them for us. And
You have
delivered-
more signage?
They delivered to the, Tuesday, and we got them put up that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I was
so there's a
gonna
lot
ask,
more
do we have
signage.
more signage?
Yes, I
Because
ordered
we had an
25.
issue down the first baseline,
Yes,
with a 10.
yeah, I got to go down there and address it.
Yeah, and there's no sign, I was looking for the sign.
So they're up now, like,
Okay.
they are all over. We ordered 25 of them, but I think we have maybe 7 that haven't been put up yet.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you.
And thank you for the black tablecloth. Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Now I smell like, wrinkle fresher.
And anymore.
My stuff smells like, so thank you. All
Do you
right.
think 25 would be enough for the park?
No, I think we'll probably have to reorder.
Okay.
And, I talked with the health department, they said that they are working on another grant, so they might have additional funding to help us put more signs that are, that are in likeness of the ones we have, like, so the identical ones, so that we're kind of, unified and moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other city staff? Say anybody. Joe, you got anything else back here? No? Stop here. All right, this time, last item of this closed session for personnel.
To go to closed session for personnel.
I second the motion.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
And Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Thank you all.